Mr. Gadget, Olly Mann, has joined me in the studio waving a brand spanking new iPhone 5. Is it any good?
It is pretty good, yes. You are looking at the world's thinnest smartphone. And that, by the way...
just writing the cheque from Apple to you.
But the way they measure it, well, I was just about to say, there are actually smartphones with thinner bits on them. The way they measure it is it's thinner at its thickest point than any other smartphone.
Okay, glad you cleared that up.
So there you go. I mean, the first thing you do notice, this is the 4S, of course, when you put them side by side, is that one is substantially thinner and taller than the other. And of course, you can't tell this because you're watching on telly, but this is a lot lighter as well. The other thing as well is because that screen's bigger, it looks really great for video. So you've got the 16:9 aspect ratio there for widescreen films, which looks really nice too. And the gimmicky thing that they've been showing everyone, panoramic pictures. This is one that I took in the office earlier today. So that's the good stuff, Chris.
Okay. Right. And before everybody out there thinks that Apple are paying him a large amount of money, there has been some criticism, particularly about the Maps app.
Yeah.
I understand that Stratford-upon-Avon doesn't exist anymore, apparently.
Neither does Solihull.
Neither does Solihull. And a train station's in the middle of the ocean, so there are teething problems.
Yeah, indeed. And I think that is exactly what they are. I mean, the thing about this new Maps app, it's quite difficult to say, isn't it? The thing about this new Maps app is that it is new. I mean, Google Maps had teething problems too. The reason they're not using Google anymore, basically, is because Google owns Android, so they don't want to be paying them for a map facility anymore. And frankly, the Google one, it's not as good. It's using Yell instead of Google, and they've got their own map technology. There's some really cool stuff you can do, flyover, that makes it seem like you're Superman flying through the streets. When it actually comes to finding Dublin Airport, you could be in trouble.
But can you believe that a phone had 1,200 people queuing up outside a shop in London today, all getting high-fived by the Apple stuff as they walked in?
Yeah, I was there and I saw it with my own eyes. They try and create a kind of American-type atmosphere. They don't always succeed at everything. The British sense is rather more demure. But yeah, people genuinely very excited. And I think that's because, actually, some of it... to tech journalists, they were quite sceptical about it because all the details were leaked online in advance. And be honest, you know, this phone, a lot of people wouldn't notice didn't have the 4S if I was walking down the street with this. Right. It's basically a version of what they've been doing since 2007. But actually, that's why the public love it. They know how to use it. And little toys like Panorama and Flyover, I think the public can really enjoy using.
With an honest promise, he's not being paid by Apple. What are these things?
Well, it is big news. It is Apple Day, so I thought I'd do some other Apple accessories. This is really cool. Unlike the iPad itself, this iPad case is designed and made entirely...
Is that your cat,
in the UK? Of course it is. I was with a mate in a bar the other day. He left his iPad there. He went back the next day and he said, "You'll know it's mine because it's got a picture of a cat on it." I thought, everyone's got a picture of a cat on it.
Okay.
But anyway, yeah, it's called Awkward, AUKWARD. It's made in the Cotswolds, handmade. They've sent us this one, obviously, patriotic for BFBS, but there's a range of designs.
What about this one that you can chuck in the water, apparently?
Yeah, okay, so this is a company called Lifeproof, which I saw at IFA, the International Funk Austerlang Conference in Berlin. It's still in the box because they showed me this on their stand, dunking it in water, and I was like, I am not going to do that to my phone. Take a look at this. This is what they were actually doing with...
So just in case you're using your iPad in the bath, yeah?
Yeah, well, I think the idea is it actually uses the glass of the iPad itself. So this is not a glass screen on top of your iPad. There's nothing protecting it apart from the input glass.
That's the ad's over, Olly.
Briefly, it's military tested.
Okay.
I want to slip that in.
Good stuff.
Important detail.
Cheers.